more than anything. They voted themselves out of a job, and that's rare. And while I like to, I love, because I got a fucking ego, I love to play up the whole, my role in this, and it's all awesome and great, but honestly, my role is crap if those people aren't really big people.
Right.
They were awesome, and it was great.
I must have been more asleep than I thought I was that morning, because I don't actually remember any of that. But, mostly I remember that I very much remember. No, I mostly remember feeling like we somehow persuaded that board to ratify those bylaws without necessarily having read them, or if they read them, I don't think they really understood what they meant.
Just like the Senate.
Kind of, yeah. Well, yeah, we gotta pass this bill so we find out what's in it.
That's it. They at least read Rule 0, which was the craziest thing that we've since gotten rid of.
Right.
Which was good.
Yes.
Rule 0. This convention is filled with words, and words are sometimes wrong, so we don't care what the words say. We will interpret these things in a way that is most sensible, most reasonable.
Yeah, I think it was Rule 0. I think the first two words were no cheating.
Yeah. It was trying to be anti-rules lawyer, because anytime you put words down, you always get the gotchas. And we just wanted to have no gotchas. And yeah, if we engineer a gotcha accidentally, we don't mean it. We want this stuff to be handled reasonably. But, it's a nice thought, but it's insanely difficult to try to do.
You can't do that in real bylaws.
Because what two people think are reasonable are very different. As we learn later.
I would like to bring up something right now.
Sure.
Dave, how many people were at that meeting? Like 18, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was less than.
It wasn't a lot.
It was less than 20 people.
And one of them in the back of the room was this silly ass couple that been up all night. That's me.
There you go.
Right? And there was some really harsh words being said in that room. And I was just kind of sitting there back and cooling them off.
Yeah.
And they did pass that board.
Yeah, no, these are hard things, and even if, I'm way better at talking polite now than I was 20 years ago.
Ain't that the truth?
I was sitting in front of them telling them that they were doing a bad job and failing, and not doing it with the sensitivity that I should have. And I feel guilty about that. But like I say, I have tremendous respect for those people that sat up there, because they were bigger people than I was. The Capricon isn't saved except by them saying, I care more about this than I care about me. And it's rare to find people like that in life anywhere.
Yeah, just the fact that any of them was willing to concede that maybe somebody else could do it as well as they could.
Yeah.
That's not an easy thing to do, especially when you've been doing something for as long as all of them had.
Yeah. Now, the fun part was, because of the theme we chose, we got to find a way to charge people extra money for some of the membership, and that really helped. And
that was kind of a stroke of genius.
We received.
I don't like giving Dave credit for stuff, but that was kind of a stroke of genius.
And it got us a bribe that helped.
Yeah.
Somebody straight up wrote a $500 check to the convention.
In order to win.
In order to win the contest for Ultimate Evil Overlord, because if you're an Evil Overlord, goddammit, you're going to bribe the judges.
There was no arguing.
It was the perfect answer.
I don't think it was Metzel,
To this day, Matt Zell's badge says
EO Lord Zell. Yeah, Matt Zell's badge every year says EO Zell. So if you ever see a badge that says Zell, that man paid Capricon $500 to win a contest and helped save Capricon.
He did.
He still tells the story.
It's a great story.
It is a great story to anyone who will listen. Yeah.
Also, I was in the room when you were talking. You told me you were selling to Dr. Passavoy.
Yeah. So
Yeah, even the other people in the Evil Overlord competition had to admit that Mr. Zell had won it.
Yeah, his first stroke of genius was asking to present last. And I'm like, well, nobody else has to present last. Sure, you can go last.
Sure.
It was perfect. So we made enough. Now, when the entire convention is on your credit card, and you don't know if the convention is going to make any money, you have a hard time eating food. And it's not just that you can't afford food. If you put anything down, it comes right the hell back out. So
And you never sleep anyway,
and
so
I
I'm
never
sure you
sleep
didn't
anyway.
sleep that
So
weekend.
basically, as the convention's happening, leading up to Sunday, to tell you the state that I was in, we did not know that Capricon had made enough money to pay me back until Saturday night at 10 p.m. So I'd been avoiding food, which means I also was avoiding liquor because no food on the stomach. Now, Saturday night at 10 p.m., it's hard to find food, but it's easy to find liquor.
Yeah, that
So-
ended about as well as you'd hope.
You need 2,000 calories a day.
Damnable knife!
Oh, look, it's the guy with the vomit bucket.
So I got about 4,000 calories in me in vodka and beer and other stuff. Passed out on the consuite floor. Got the dead body tape outlined around me. Somebody who was at the convention did a hoax fanzine, took a picture of it, and they had the headline "Con Chair Seeks Liquor." So by the time Sunday came around, I was not in the best shape, but I knew I wasn't, I myself wasn't bankrupt along with the convention. Now we did not use it.
And that was the state he was in when he came to the board meeting at 8 o'clock in the morning.
But we did not actually kill off the convention because we'd made enough money we could pay back some of the debt. We didn't pay off all of the debt, but we paid off some of the debt. And now Tracy and I and Kathy Narrett had another conversation to have because I knew that I wanted to chair the convention again and I wanted to be me because I had had a really fun time, even amongst not being able to eat and drinking myself into oblivion.
It really was. It was an outstanding convention. It really was fun. Stressful as hell, but it was really fun.
So now we've run Capricon 19, and then we ran, and so for me, the next year, the theme was going to be Armageddon. And we're looking at Armageddon, and if it's not, it might not jump out in your head originally, but when we were talking about Capricon, Bittersweet 16 being the last one, the theme for Capricon 20, Armageddon, 3/4 of the way and pretty much to the day of the convention, on the table was, at the end, boom, we're done. Okay, the Capricon, we weren't announcing it, but because Kathy Narrett was sort of connection to old things
Well,
for us.
yeah, I think Bittersweet 16 was actually her idea.
Yeah, so.
I know that phrase was her idea.
So basically you're saying Kathy's been trying to kill the convention. Awesome.
Not exactly.
But no, seriously, because we rescued it from the abyss, but the question is, do we keep
Does it
going?
have legs?
Does it have legs? And so we ran Armageddon, and the whole time through, the people at the top, which was me and the board of directors and Tracy. I think you were on one of the first board of directors slots.
I believe I was an early director. Yeah, Doug was an early director.
And Doug was.
I remember exactly when I became a director because I ran
And
programming for your conference.
Brent was one of the board of directors holding over from Mudlarks of Space.
No,
sorry.
Mudlarks changed to Fandemonium before all of this.
Sorry, from Fandemonium before all this. So
Yeah.
But you were holdover from the before board. Anyway, so we're looking at this, and on the table is the convention is dead. The convention is dead. We had a great time. It was a great run. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your convention experience. And we get to at the convention, and we're running, and we've got Larry Niven, and we're having a great time. And the money's actually coming in, and we more than finish off paying the debt. And at this point, we're like, you know what? Yeah, let's keep going.
And by then I had some momentum behind Capricon 21, which was the con I decided to chair after Armageddon. This strong theming thing got me inspired because I had been one of the burnt outest of the burnt out around Capricon 15. And by the time Capricon 20 rolled around, I was like, wait, I have an idea. And so I decided I wanted to run the Capricon whose single word theme was progress. And so we did the Tellurian Exposition of 2001 as Capricon 21 Progress, and at closing ceremonies for Armageddon, we had all of the hooded, cloaked figures come in and basically escort you off the stage into oblivion, and then I threw off my death knell hood and had my sparkly evening gown and announced Capricon 21.
See, that experience wasn't as bad for me as the super soaker in the face.
It's probably not the most memorable part of the convention.
We were on radiation suits, didn't we?
Yep.
Because it was, in fact, I think my, what was I, it's all going to be okay because I have my footy jammies was one of the out of context quotes in Go Droppings that year. Footy jammies.
Yeah, so, but Tracy got me thinking, one of the other cultural changes, it's actually a very important cultural change that we made as part of the shift in 18.
The ritual firing of the Concom?
The ritual firing of the Concom. So one of the things that we did was, the board of directors is picking the chair. The chair picks every position except treasurer. The treasurer comes from the board of directors because the treasurer is about the money. That's the one job that comes from the board of directors. But other than that, the chair picks every other job. And when that chair's job is done, everybody's job is done.
Yeah.
And you don't have the job the next year. If you want to do the job the next year, you have to find and talk to the next chairman or have that chairman talk to you. Because one of the other things that frequently kills conventions, and it bit Capricon a bunch and bit us in the transition, is where people have a proprietary feeling about their department and it's theirs, and I struggle with it too. I have proprietary feelings about Capricon because of how much I bled into this, but I work really hard to make sure that I don't, or as little as possible, tell other people that they have to do it my way.
Sometimes you even succeed.
Because the thing that keeps the convention vital is the constant new people, new ideas, things changing, and growth. New people is growth.
One of the things that I love, so in 2005, I moved to Florida, so I'm not local anymore, but I have continued to come to Capricon every year because it's important to me. And exactly, I love this con enough to come to Chicago in February from Florida, so there you go. One of the things that I have watched happen over the last many years since I stopped being here and sort of in the thick of it is that each year I recognize fewer and fewer of the people with silver badges or the people who are on the board or running for the board. Not that I've never seen them before in my life, but they're not my close personal friends like they used to be. And I love that because the more of that I see, particularly when I see younger folks or I see just people who are different from me in any way, I sort of go, we did it. This worked. This is working exactly as it is designed. One of the most satisfying moments of the post-coup existence of Capricon and Fandemonium was when I was watching Dave in this unreasoning rant about somebody who had gotten elected to the board, and he was furious that this person had gotten elected to the board because it was all wrong and terrible and bad. And I'm like, our work here is done.
Here's the thing, and the story I'm about to tell is about somebody in the room, so I hope I tell it in a way that doesn't get me bitch slapped.
Good luck.
So remember with the ritual firing of people and the stuff, when I did my 2 years as chair, and then I was chairman of the board of directors for 3 years, and then I decided that I wanted to run the convention again. So for Cap 24, I was chairman again, and my plan was, chair the convention and then run for board of directors again. Now, one of the decisions that I made for Capricon 24 was that I wanted to do something really different for Consuite. I don't think I handled telling the Consuite person that I wanted to make a change as good as I should have, and certainly not as good as I could. And so I sort of kicked somebody in the butt and gave them a burr in their bonnet and free time to run for the board of directors. And they were motivated, and they kicked my ass and got on the board of directors against me and over me. And that's fucking brilliant. That's awesome, you know?
Living well is the best revenge.
I wish I'd done something differently in the transition of what I wanted to do in Consuite, but you know what? We found out the person that did Consuite had other skills that we'd never tapped into and used other ways, and it's been an amazing thing, you know? So even when things go less bad go more bad than you hoped, good stuff can still happen. I mean, somebody kicked me off the board of directors. That's a good thing, right?
Yes.
You know? It freed me up to do the WorldCon. You know, so it worked out, in its own way, it worked out really good for everybody, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, a lot of good things have happened, I think, as a result of, or at least as a consequence or subsequence of everything that happened between 18 and 19. And again, one of the testaments to the good of what we did is that the board meeting happens now at a much more civilized hour.
Yeah.
You're welcome. And
voting happens.
And the voting happens, and you all come to the board meeting and you vote for the board and you participate, and other people do too. And that's our greatest legacy, our greatest victory. The thing that makes such blood, sweat, and tears as we may have shed in service of this thing totally worth it.
You know, and we're in the windup. We only got a couple more minutes. So, but you know, as plugs for stuff, you know, there's ballots for the board of directors. This is the process where we keep the people in charge connected to the community. If you haven't voted, you should.
If you have voted, you shouldn't vote again.
Yeah. All right, Brent.
A lot of what was instituted when everything happened is now in use with other conventions.
Yeah, we can.
I've heard the ritual firing of the Concom has caught on at other conventions, which I think is awesome.
Yes. The open board meetings and the voting,
Mhm.
I actually took the anime section.
Thank you, Brent.
Well, the
Good
thing
for
is,
you.
the soul of fandom is theft. You know,
Plagiarism is the sincerest form of flattery.
no good idea should go unstolen.
Oh, strong theming.
So we need to-
strong con theming has bled into other cons too.
Well, but to speak plainly, we stole theming from WindyCon. We took the idea because we thought WindyCon didn't do enough with Scots in Space, which was the first theme I noticed at WindyCon.
Yeah.
And I was talking about that. That seems cool, but it doesn't seem like they do a lot. And then we're talking about what theme to do. But you know, so we need money. We make this premium membership. The next year, I hear about